am shocked because I thought that the crux of the entire series was going to be that we needed to break this curse. But I think we went so far during the first season that we kind of had no choice but to break the curse, because I mean, our creators think so far outside of the box, and so much moved forward at such a fast pace that this is exactly what should have happened. And it's also a wonderful, so I'm satisfied as an audience member is what I'm trying to say. And then as an actress, I'm very excited because whereas I thought I was always going to be playing two separate characters, I will now not only be playing those characters in flashbacks, but I will now be an amalgamation of those characters in the present. It's a lot easier than I thought it would be. I think it was difficult to establish the differences. I was wrestling with it for a while, and in the beginning, I tried to create Mary Margaret as a sort of polar opposite of Snow White, but then I realized that isn't necessarily, like, whereas Snow White, for instance, is fiercely optimistic and has faith, I realized that to be self-indulgent in some kind of depression or pessimism would have been too satisfying a state, because that self-indulgence itself would have been satisfying. And the evil queen would want, instead, for Mary Margaret to always almost be happy, and then for her to push her own happiness away, to always find an excuse not to be happy, to be her own, biggest problem. And therefore, the creation of Mary Margaret came about when I started making lists of all the things I thought the evil queen would want her to be. But then I feel like it was fairly, I mean, everything sort of flowed after that, and also our scripts are so good that the words really do most of the work for us.
Is that fun for you to be able to read them as kind of a fan?
Absolutely, because I am always dying to know what happens. And I do beg for little tidbits here and there, and every once in a while I'll get one, like, knowing that Little Red Riding Hood was going to be the wolf, and I think I flew through the roof when I heard that. I was so excited. And knowing that, Captain Hook is coming has been really exciting. We've been dying. I mean, I didn't even tell my family, and I've been dying to tell everyone. I would assume it will be, I can't answer that, but I would assume it's going to be all of the above. Because I think that the writers are so good at capturing the complexities and contradictions of our relationships that I assume that it has to be that there is so much relief and joy in remembering both lives and remembering who her family members, that these people are her family. I remember my father once said to me, in real life, my father once said to me that he thought that hell would be forgetting. That is his definition of hell in the afterlife, would be forgetting. Because all he says he wants in any kind of afterlife is to remember his family and to remember the happy moments of his life. And so I think that Mary Margaret, just remembering is reward enough. But there's going to be all kinds of. I think there has to be resentment between these women, that they each are going to feel robbed of the experience of having spent those first 28 years together. And they're also each other's first best friends. These are two, Mary Margaret and Emma are both characters who wouldn't let anyone in before. Not really. And so they're also kind of being robbed of that friendship in some ways, and it'll be replaced by something else.
New relationships.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. They both trusted each other and now are not who they thought they were. I know. There's a lot of snow going on. I saw those movies and I thought they were both incredible interpretations of the story, and I was really happy that I think when we went into production, I guess it was like a year and a half ago. Was it a year and a half ago? I guess it was about a year and a half ago we went into production, and we knew that those movies were going, and we were worried that there would be some kind of, competition, but you can't compare them. They're so different. But I do think it's very interesting, given the fact that now there's another Snow White that's being created, that there's a Maleficent movie being created. There's something else. It's interesting that it's clearly fairy tales are in the zeitgeist right now.